Hi, this is Bianca Wooden. I am with Better Beginnings. I'm a childbirth educator and a lactation consultant on the Mississippi coast, and I want to introduce you to Rachel. She is a doula on the Mississippi coast. And anyway, hi, Rachel.
Hi, Bianca.
So I didn't ask you, before I started recording, but what is your business name? Do you have a business name?
Yes, so it's Gladiolus Doula, like the flower.
Oh, that's pretty. Is there any meaning behind it, or how did you come up with that?
It's my birth flower. I also still want to become a midwife. I kind of put it on pause for my daughter. So I didn't want to claim a name yet as a midwife. So I was like, well, I'll just stick with my birth flower because I like the gladiolus.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's for some reason when I think of gladiolas, I just think of like fresh springtime, and so I think it has a really nice vibe. So you and I do not know each other that well, but I hope we get to meet in person before too long. So tell me, how did you, well, first, are you a birth doula or do you do any other kind of work, or you focus on the birth?
So I am a birth doula, a placental encapsulator, a childbirth educator, and then obviously a reproductive justice advocate.
Wonderful. That's great. So what got you, how did you get to all those interests, which of course they're all kind of combined, which is similar to, all my passions as well. So how did you get here in your life? What brought you to this kind of work?
So I'm originally from Mississippi, a little bit further north. Back there, there's a lot more people who are into holistic care and birth. There's not a lot of hospitals around in the woods. So you kind of learn to take care of one another and take care of yourselves. And so I've always been interested in holistic care. I think my passion for like children and pregnant people in particular kind of got as I got older and started taking care of like church members' kids and like daycares and stuff like that. And then I just became more and more passionate about like that early childhood development and like really understanding how pregnancy works and how babies are born. That's a question every child asks, but like I really wanted to know.
Yeah, I feel maybe you were saying this, but people asked why I was interested in birth, and it's like, well, I'm just interested in birth because of the impacts it has on breastfeeding, and I'm just interested in breastfeeding because of the impact it has on parenting and the world and children. So it's like, it's not that I care so much about the individual steps of your birth, but that you the process that leads you into this part of your life. So I don't know if that's how you feel, but that's kind of where I go with it.
No, definitely. I think we always think about like foundations, like where things started. And I think for me, I realized that the more education and like support that somebody can have while pregnant, they can take that and it forms like a sustainable, pathway for that child's early development, how they grow into an adult. And then in turn, if they choose to have children. So it doesn't start once the baby is born. It starts a little bit before that. And so that's really impactful for me.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page. So you mentioned community and like that holistic helping each other out. Did you have that where you lived, or did you feel like we need more of that? Or tell me about that.
We always need more. I was raised by my grannies. There were a lot of granny midwives around me. And so I kind of learned all the like holistic tricks of the trade before I even knew what the other things were. And so I just kind of applied that to my college experience and then also into like pharmacology and like understanding the balance between like herbalism and pharmacology and how they can work together. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Man, it sounds like you have like some life experiences and knowledge that I would love to know more about. It's just really great. Just different you know, we all come from different things that brings us here. So I think you're a great resource, I'm sure, for your clients. So if you had like clients thinking about hiring you as a doula, is there any type of birth philosophy or someone that, you know, you're a good fit with, or, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a really good question. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily like the best fit for anyone in particular, but I will say that I like to believe in you and I like to empower you in your birth journey. And so I like to tell people all the time, especially like right before labor, you know, I'm like, this is something that's happening to you. And although it's not something that you can control, it's something that one will pass, but also moves through you. And so I like to tell people in the same way that like labor is happening to you, and although you can't control it, you can move with it. I want to be that support for you. I'm not there to change your mind or force opinions on you. I'm there to advocate for you and to help you through this journey. So I think for people who struggle to advocate for themselves, and then also strong-minded people, I feel that I fit well with. Now that I've had a child myself, I have a little bit more experience, but I've dealt with many families far older than me or had multiple kids or one child. It really just kind of depends on what they need from me and if I'm able to supply that support for them.
That's wonderful. Well, is what I'm going to do is post this video, and I'll put how people can find you, so that if they do think that you might be the right fit for them, they could just set up a consultation to get to know you a little better. I always encourage people to meet with multiple doulas. Same with midwives, doctors, and everything else. Like, meet with a couple, and because you might think one is great, and then you meet with another one and you're like, oh my gosh, we really connect. So that's why I love this little video introduction, just to help people connect with you that otherwise may not have found you. So anywho, I will put that video up, and hopefully you will reach the people that need you and that could benefit from all your experience and knowledge. So thank you for taking a few minutes to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. And I do go to like the leche meetings, different things like that, which I never really get to catch you. I always see like your other team leaders, but I really appreciate what you do for the coast. I am like the first breastfeeder in a couple of generations on both sides of the family. So that was very helpful and very impactful. And now 16 months later, we're still going strong. So I really appreciate what you do and the things that you post.
All right, well, I'm proud of you. That's great. It's hard to take your family history on a new journey because you don't have that. I mean, even if they support your decision, you've lost some knowledge over the last couple generations. So I'm proud of you for making that good decision for your family. And I'm glad that I've been able to be a support. All right. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later, Raichal.
Thank you, Bianca.
Bye-bye.